What's going on, all my lawn care ninjas? Hold on. What's going on, all my lawn care ninjas? You know what today is? What is it?
Thunder Pumper Thursday.
And you know, ninjas, I know you know what day it is today, but apparently Busy Bee does not. What day is it today?
Thirsty Thursday.
There you go, Thirsty Thursday. You know why?
Why was that?
Because we all thirst. Because we thirsty for these yards, and there's always seemed to be a little bit of a drizzle calling for on a Thursday. Hope you ninjas have been good. Hope everyone's just knocking them out, slicing, you know, and dicing.
Yep.
These lawns, we here at this property, this is one of the fairly new ones that I've just gotten. I think I've already recorded here a couple of times, so I'm not going to record here, but I wanted to start the video because we haven't started the video yet, and we're already at 3:55, 4 o'clock, and I'm like, well, gosh, I haven't had a video in 2 days, so if I don't start one now, we're not going to have a video the third day. Could you imagine what would happen if there's no video, like, of Sensei and the ninjas for, like, almost a whole week? What do you think, what would happen?
I ain't no telling. They probably start going crazy.
End of the world is what would happen. That's yeah, people would go crazy, be like, what's going on? Benick, don't give me that, Benick. We're out here just mowing, slicing, dicing, and making these yards look nice. Anyway, we just pulled up to this one, but how has our week been so far?
It's been pretty good this week.
It's been hot, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been warm.
Okay, do you remember, ninjas, how I've been telling you, do not cut any yards without a payment at the time of service? I've actually been preaching about this now for a while, and a lot of you ninjas have taken my advice. Matter of fact, I've got a new sticker by a ninja who has written me a very nice letter, and one of the things he mentioned in the letter was that he took that advice. He was always stressing because he'd work for a whole month with no pay, and then he would have to like hope that he's going to get his money, and you were never secure, never certain if you're really working for free or you're going to get paid or not. And so he finally took my advice. He implemented that payment at the time of service, and he said he couldn't be better and off and happier than ever before. So it's apparently working really well for him. So anyway, you guys know I've been talking about this paying at the time of service. The only time you can't really do that is on any commercials. Commercials, they're going to expect you to mow for the whole month and invoice them and all that. But what happened? Why am I going here with this topic? What happened yesterday about somebody wanting us to cut some grass with no money?
Yeah, we had somebody call us yesterday wanting us to come out and cut their grass and not pay us until she got her paycheck on the weekend.
So she said, hey, it's overgrown. It's, how tall would you say it was? Definitely over ankle. Would you say almost knee high? Certain areas?
Yeah, I'd say knee high.
Anyway, she wanted us to cut the grass, and I said, look, you know, ma'am, I'm a payment at the time of service. One thing that really was creepy to us, what did she say to me? She said, I'm home alone or something. I'm home alone, my husband's not home. What in the heck did that supposed to mean?
There's no telling.
I mean, what is going on out here, ninjas? These customers be trying all kinds of funky things. I don't know what she meant by that, so I'm not gonna throw it out here and even opinionate myself on that. I'm just letting you know that is what she said, right? Yeah. She said, she made it clear to tell me in my in the text and finally over the phone conversation, she said, I'm home alone, my husband's not home. What does that have to do with your grass being tall and I need payment at the time of service? Why would she say that, Busy Bee?
I don't know. There's a few reasons why.
Oh, you got a few reasons? Please do tell.
I don't know if I want to do that.
How would you take it?
I don't really know how I'd take it. I really don't.
That's right. You wouldn't know how to take it. Anyway. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know why she said that. I totally ignored that part. And I said, I need a payment at time of service, ma'am. I'm sorry. I said, your grass is like ankle high, knee high. Again, I've already cut that yard once and it was super high and it was an overcharge the first cut, but so I was like, I'm definitely gonna have to give you the same price as last time. She said, can you please go ahead and cut it? I don't get paid till Friday. And I'm like, and she goes, I'll even pay more than last time. I just need it cut. And I'm like, I am so sorry, I can't do that. And you're gonna come into situations like this, ninjas, where you're gonna have customers asking this from you. You have to stick to your policy and to your rules, okay? Do not cut anybody's yard with no payment, whether, you know, it's a check in hand, cash in hand, or card on file, because I know I'm not chasing my money like I have in the past. I want to make sure that I'm not working out here for free, as should all of you. Anyway, so that's what happened yesterday, right? Now, what's the story? We're talking about Andrew. What happened? Let's share that.
I don't know. I'll let you tell me when you know more about it.
Anyway, ninjas, I will post a picture right now. Now, for those of you who don't remember, that is Andrew. I think he's like 17 now, 16, something like that. But this is a young man who I have sold the Scabbard. Do you remember that? Did you watch those videos back then?
I don't think I seen the one where you sold it to him.
But you remember me helping him?
Yeah.
Okay. I sold him the Scabbard, and you know, I've helped him a few times. Do you guys remember when I was out there really late with him one night, and I had to actually turn on the light bar and the Ninja mower to help him finish some of the yards? It was getting really dark. So anyway, one of my blowers was acting up, right? Somehow this topic came up. I got to share with you. One of my blowers was acting up, and I was using the other one, something like that. Well, I had one of the regular 770s Echo that I've just had on the trailer for basically the whole season, if not at least a year, that I haven't really used. And so it's just been sitting, and it's accumulated what?
A bunch of grease and dust and all that good stuff.
Dust. Ninja's worst enemy. So when he fired that thing up, as you've seen this picture by now, when he fired that thing up, he couldn't see anything. It was dark. But all he heard, he said, was when he fired it up, he heard a big poof. And so what he didn't know is when that poof happened, he was in a big cloud of dust. Ninja's worst enemy. Anyway, he put the blower back on his back, and he went on about his night, right? We ended up finishing blowing off that property. Well, he didn't see nothing, except when he was putting the blower back, he saw his hands were super greasy and dirty. He's like, what the heck? But then he was like, well, you know, the blower hasn't been used in a while. I understand. Well, when he got home and he walked in the bathroom and looked at himself in the mirror, that's the picture you ninjas see. Here's one more time, one more time. As I've said, ninjas, dust. Ninja's worst enemy.
That's for sure.
So, word of advice is, if you've got a blower that's been sitting for a while, that has not been turned on for a while, be careful when you first want to try to start it. Those things accumulate dust, and the carburetors can clog up, and all kinds of things can happen, and the next thing you know, you're gonna look like you've been digging through a mine or something like that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Right. How you doing today, Busy Bee?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm okay. Are you hot today? Are you working really hard?
Not too bad, but it's getting a little hot now.
A little hot now?
Yeah.
He's lying. Why are you always lying on camera, man? You have been nothing but complaining about this heat since we started.
Hell, I don't know.
One of my weed eaters is down, ninjas. I was helping Busy Bee, and I lost. This whole thing came apart on the speed feed head, which is known to happen if you're not really careful. If you ever have to open this and you don't click them on each side, so there's clicks right here, you got to click one, click the other. But when it came apart on me, you see this little metal piece right here that's holding the string? If you can see right here, it's missing. I tried to look for it, but couldn't find it. So I'm gonna see if I have another one of them metal pieces. If not, I'm just gonna have to replace this whole head. It's not a big deal. But as I was telling you about Andrew, I'll probably set you up here and record this little front yard, no big deal. But he had this little blower, it was right here, which you can see it's empty. I haven't really put another blower on here just because, I don't know, no need for it, but I will eventually. And it was the 770 Echo, and I haven't used it in a year. And when he started that thing, it had just exploded on him. It was, and as you've seen the picture, he got covered like crazy. But anyway, had a little trouble starting it. I bet you it's still gonna show it right here. Hold on. So if you look, I think it won't start, and then I take the filter off and it starts, and it's never done this for me. But if you look at this filter, you see how it's wet? So you can tell it's wet right there, that red. So I don't know why is it wet. I have no idea why it's wet, like flooded, and I haven't been choking it or nothing like that. Cut it out. But you can tell now it's kind of dry. Actually, it's still pretty wet, but anyway, I couldn't get it started with this on, so I had to. If you ever come into a situation like this where there's a weed eater, pole saw, whatever, and you're tugging on it and it won't start, what you can do is, sometimes it's the carburetor. If you haven't used the piece of equipment in a while, it could be a carburetor, but I have used this just 2-3 days ago with no problems. The only thing I can think of while it was in here, it might have gone to the side and all the fuel might have just been on this side and it somehow came out into the filter. But anyway, it got flooded, basically, is what happens. So if you ever come into a situation like this and you get a piece of equipment flooded, all you have to do, basically 9 times out of 10, and like I said, unless it's a carburetor issue, then it's just take out the air filters, leave it open like this, and it'll start right up. Because as soon as we did that, it started right up, and as soon as we tried to put it back, it started to die on me. See how busy B is, ninjas? He knows I can mow this, but he still weed eated everything.
We weed eated it last time.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, we did.
Get out of town. He said, but Nick, I want to mow a little. So when I use the Spartan to do that. Spartan, what is your mission?
Mow, mow, mow.
You got it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, look at you go. What did you forget?
Gotta take the parking brake off.
You don't have to type in the code again, just wait till it turns green. Okay, ninjas, as you can see now, we're doing this house on the other side of the street when we finished with that one. So now we got both houses. I used to do this property about 2-3 years ago, and the owner just basically said he's going to take over a little bit, do it himself, but now he's called me back, so now we're maintaining it again. I'm going to grab the trimmer real quick and touch up some spots that Busy Bee has missed. Man, he has been hauling tail. I ended up talking to her for a little while, and he's ended up finishing trimming all of this and trimming all of that, but I gotta go grab a trimmer and just touch up some of the spots he's missed. It's a new property, and that is so normal and expected. So anytime you hire somebody new, just expect that they're gonna miss stuff. It's gonna happen until they get familiarized with the property, as long as they're willing to learn and they care. Whew. Anyway, hey, you know who I ran into today? You're not gonna believe it. Brando Commando. Yeah, Brando Commando. But anyway, so ninjas, I'll conclude this video when we get back in the truck. Busy Bee is whooped. We've both been burnt today just from the heat, the sun. He's literally like changed colors. His whole body has gone brown. He's got a good tan going. But anyway, we're done for today and we have got everything done. So really tomorrow and Saturday, we're gonna do the side jobs that I have scheduled, but all the mowing is actually completed for the week. So that's really good. But he's been kicking tail with me, man, for these last, this is his 4th week. So when he finishes this week, he's qualified, but he's been kicking tail with me for these last 4 weeks. Unbelievable. It's just a hardworking young man, willing to learn, listens, respectful, but we also joke a lot in the truck. You know, I just like to have a good time in the truck as far as the atmosphere. I like to joke. I don't like to take anything too serious, but I always tell them, you know, don't take my jokes for as a weakness. You know, this is still a job and I still need you to do your job. So, and I think Busy Bee understands that fully. We've had a long day. We've had a long week, ninjas. Long week, which is one of the reasons why I haven't made videos the last 2 days. I knew that I have stuff going on this weekend. We got a pressure washing job and then we got to paint a house. What? Do you even do that? Stay tuned. Ninjas, it's a wrap. I know it's probably dark in here, but
Yep.
and I don't know why Busy Bee got shades on, but he does.
That's a good question. I don't even know.
But why do I have shades on? Who cares, right? Who cares?
Yep.
It's okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What a freaking day. And we got everything done. We're done with the mowing and you've kicked tail today. But we had a really easier day yesterday. So I told him, I was like, some days you're gonna have easier, some days are gonna be like this. So It is what it is. But thank you, ninjas, again for tuning in for another one. Hey, stay tuned. I've got some pretty cool announcements coming up. There's gonna be a lot of things going on, such as, well, you don't even know yet, honestly, but some trips. Ooh. What? So there'll be some trips coming up. Stay tuned. There's gonna be several of them, but there's just a lot of things working in the background. It's like you know, the gears are just lubing up. Anyway, thank you guys. Hope everyone had a good day, and we'll see you in the next one. Busy Bee?
What's that?
What you guys say?
Nah, not much. I'm wore out now.
You wore out now?
Yep.
You ready to go home?
Oh yeah.
What you gonna do for dinner?
Probably just stop somewhere and pick something up.
Baby tired. That baby tired.
Yeah.
Peace.